Welcome to a live broadcast of the post-parade ceremony here in Slinger. This is a unique event as the family of Sergeant Joseph Mueller, after 53 years, is presented a Purple Heart. Eugene Mueller, sitting in the front row next to Senator Tammy Baldwin, will be receiving the Purple Heart. Joe Mueller died after 10 days in Vietnam. Tom Hasse with the American Legion, the coordinator of this program. This live broadcast is brought to you by American Commercial Real Estate. And a pretty strong turnout here at Union Cemetery.
Veterans, ladies and gentlemen, family members, and other distinguished guests, welcome to our Memorial Day ceremony. Bring your units to attention.
Order. Arm. Brave dress.
As long as true comrades survive, so will the veterans of foreign wars of the United States render tribute to our heroic dead. On this day, forever consecrated to our heroic dead, we are assembled once again to express sincere reverence. This grave represents the resting places of many departed comrades who served in all wars. Wherever the body of a comrade lies, there the ground is hallowed. Our presence here in solemn commemoration of those men and women, an expression of our tribute to their devotion to duty, to their courage and patriotism. By the services on land, on sea, and in the air, they have made us their debtors, for the flag of our nation still flies over the land of free people. At ease. Conrad Chaplain, would you give the divine blessing?
Let us bow our heads. Father of us all, in the depth of our silent reverence, we realize the truth of the inspired words. I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. As comrade after comrade departs, we march on with our ranks growing thinner. Help us to be faithful unto thee and to one another. Look in mercy at the widows and children of our departed comrades, we beseech thee. And with thy own tenderness, console and comfort those who are bereaved. Heavenly Father, bless our country with freedom, peace, and righteousness. Through thy favor, may we meet at last before thy throne in heaven. We praise thy great name forever and ever. Amen.
It is my great pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, our 2022 State Commander, Veterans Foreign Wars, Corey Geisler.
Well, thank you everyone for being here. We're honored with your presence. Yeah, please sit, please. Don't have anybody go down to eat the hatchet, please. Today, for many Americans, Memorial Day signifies that beginning of the summer season. It's that extra day off of work. Many throw their first outdoor party, hanging out with family and friends. Many also come out and they attend hometown parades for Memorial Day. They'll clap loudly when the veterans walk by. They'll head home. They'll enjoy their day. Some will come out and thank us for our service. And I thought about this a lot as our post was handing out poppies Friday and Saturdays. We get a lot of thank you for your service on Memorial Day. We get a lot of have a happy Memorial Day. And I think Memorial Day is one of those days where the average person who hasn't served doesn't quite know what to say. On any other holiday, Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving, have a happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service on Veterans Day. But when it comes to Memorial Day, a lot of people are unsure of what to say. And out of respect, they default to, thank you for your service or have a happy Memorial Day. But what does Memorial Day really mean? It's a very solemn day for those of us in the veteran community. It's also a day where we remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice for freedom. It's a day where we remember our brothers and sisters. Many veterans, a lot of them standing here today, they've lost friends who they served with. They lost people that they knew in their units. For us, it's a day of reflection, and it's also a day that we toast those that we lost, to honor them, to think of their memories. So don't be surprised if you thank a veteran for their service on Memorial Day and you don't hear anything back, you don't acknowledge you back. It's not because we don't appreciate it. It's because for us, we understand that it's not about us and our service. It's about us honoring those who made the ultimate sacrifice. All of those that are buried in Arlington National Cemetery, Northern Wisconsin Veterans Memorial Cemetery, the Normandy American Cemetery, and so many more. Memorial Day is also a day where I remember Josh Mueller, who was my driver in Iraq. A young man who really had his whole life ahead of him. 21 years old. And when he turned 22, he was killed in Afghanistan by a roadside bomb. And he left behind a wife and 2 daughters. He's not just a name on a wall. You go to all the memorials around this country. You go to D.C., you see the Vietnam Wall, and you look at all the names. You go to all the thousands of memorials around this country, and you look at the names on there. What do those names really represent? For those of us, we know what they represent. But think about this. Those names represent members of that community. They were neighbors, friends, husbands, wives, mothers, fathers, brothers and sisters. They were our nation's sons and daughters that we sent to war. They hugged their loved ones for the very last time, said goodbye, not knowing it was the last time that they would ever see them alive. So, as you take time to really remember what Memorial Day is all about, think about it's not that freedom of an extra day off. It's not that freedom to throw a party. It's the freedoms that are guaranteed in our Constitution and the Bill of Rights that our brothers and sisters fought for and gave their lives for. And as I close here, I want you to remember a simple verse. Day is done, gone the sun, from the lake, from the hill, from the sky. All is well, safely rest, God is nigh. Those are the unofficial words to TAPS. As you hear that lasting tribute to our fallen comrades, remember that is what it's about. And as you take time today when you leave here, all I ask is that everyone here take a simple 10, 15 seconds. Do something that won't violate any of your beliefs, won't violate anything that you stand for. But take a simple 10 to 15 seconds, bow your head, and just say, thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you. And what you're saying thank you to are all those brave men and women who cannot be here with us today. Like Josh Mueller, who, like I said, he is not just a name on a wall. He was my friend. He was my comrade. He was a husband. And he was a father. He was gone too soon. Thank you, everyone. You honor us with your presence here today. We appreciate it very much. Thank you.
It's my pleasure to introduce our next guest speaker, Madison Hess, our Voice 2023 VFW Voice of Democracy winner.
Good morning. Today we come together to honor and show respect to those who served our beautiful country and to honor those who didn't make it home. We're all called here today, whether that is family, God, or history, to show respect and honor those who put their life on the line for what we proudly call the land of the free and the home of the brave. Each of these monuments is a remembrance of a son, a father, a mother, a spouse, a friend, and a fellow comrade to many. They laid down their lives for the stars and stripes before you. They fought a good fight until the Lord called them home. Some walked through that door and others were laid to rest. On this day, we continue on their memories. There is no telling what tomorrow will bring. We will face good and we will also face hard times. We must have faith for tomorrow and faith for the country these individuals put their lives on the line for. We can never truly understand what they witnessed and went through, but we can carry on their stories and their legacies. We can show respect, compassion, and everlasting love. What we do know is each soldier awoke in the morning, and even in the middle of the night to protect. They wore a uniform of importance and a uniform of strength. They fought for the change they wanted, the country they live in, and those they loved. These individuals did not go to war because they loved fighting. They went to war for a much greater importance. They rose to the nation's call and rose to protect. Freedom isn't free. Our nation owes a great debt that can never be repaid to those who served our country. We can try everything we can to teach future generations the importance of this day, and why every day we shall continue to shake the hands of those who have served, and carry on the spirit of those who cannot be with us. Thank you to the families and friends who gathered here today to show their love and respect, and to our veterans, those serving across the seas, standing with us here, and those who were called home to the Lord, I thank you for fighting a good fight, fighting for our freedom, fighting for your families, fighting for your fellow comrades. Your bravery and sacrifices will never be forgotten. As Lee Glenwood says, there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
It is my pleasure to introduce Senator Tammy Baldwin, who represents Purple Heart, to Joseph Miller's family.
Thank you. Good morning, and thank you, Commander Ellenbecker. I am so honored to be in Slinger on this Memorial Day to honor Sergeant Joseph Miller and his family with the presentation of a Purple Heart. Every year on Memorial Day, we join together as a community to pay tribute to everyday heroes who served and sacrificed to protect our American values and the country we all love. Today and every day, we give thanks and appreciation for their service to our country. And to the families and friends of our fallen, it is an honor to share this day with you. As all of you know, it is not just the person who wears the uniform who serves. Military families make enormous sacrifices for our nation, and for that, we thank you. And here in Slinger, one military family in particular deserves recognition today. To the family and friends of Joseph Miller, especially Eugene, Marty, Marie, and Andrew, who initially contacted my office, you have been leading the charge to honor the legacy of your loved one, fighting to ensure his sacrifice is honored appropriately with a Purple Heart medal. The Purple Heart is a distinct and often somber recognition. It is reserved only for our service members who have greatly sacrificed themselves or made the ultimate sacrifice while in the line of duty. These are the real-life heroes who put their bodies, their minds, and their lives on the line for our country. And it is our responsibility to recognize those who made these sacrifices. That includes Sergeant Joseph Miller, who 50 years after his service will finally receive his due recognition with the Purple Heart, all thanks to the steadfast work of his loving family. It is an honor to join all of you today for the celebration of his life and his legacy. On this solemn day, let us draw strength from the courageous sacrifices of those we honor. Let us stand together and remember American patriots like Sergeant Mueller and the American values our veterans fought and died for. Let us all be inspired by their service to this great nation that we are blessed to call home. And now, Commander Ellenbecker will read the Purple Heart citation.
Attention orders. To all who shall see these presents greetings to certify that the President of the United States of America has awarded the Purple Heart, established by General George Washington at Newburgh, New York, August 7, 1782, to Sergeant Joseph B. Miller, United States Army, for wounds received in actions in Vietnam resulting in his death on 21 March 1970. Given under my hand in the city of Washington this 13th day of May 1970. Comrades, attention. The officers and members of Zunker Hall Post 3358, veterans of foreign wars of the United States, will now pay our respects to our departed comrades. In so doing, we offer solemn tribute to all comrades, wherever they may rest. Comrade Senior Vice Commander.
On behalf of the Post 3358 Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States, I place this symbol of our remembrance.
Comrade Junior Vice Commander.
I place the symbol of purity on this comrade's grave. May each future generation emulate the unselfish courage of all men and women who fought for freedom.
Comrade Officer of the Day.
In memory of the heroic dead who have fallen in defense of the United States of America, I place this tribute of our devotion and everlasting remembrance.
Post Adjutant to the Veterans of Foreign Wars.
On behalf of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, I place this emblem of eternity. Its colors bespeaks of life everlasting. Thus, we do immortalize the brave deeds of the soldiers, the sailors, the airmen, and the Marines who have given their lives on land, on sea, and in the air.
On behalf of our glorious republic, for whose integrity our comrades enlisted and served, I place this emblem of the nation. The flag of our country was theirs to defend. Its glorious colors shall wave over them in death as in life, for everyone to behold. To you comrades who have departed, we render a silent salute. Comrades, present arms. Order, arms. Comrades, in the silent land beyond, wherever your mortal remains may rest, these solemn services we hold tribute to you. Thank you all for coming, and remember to keep our military personnel in your prayers. This ends our ceremony. You're all welcome to join us at Community Park for a meet and greet and refreshments brought by Cornbag Tournament. Thank you all for coming.
You've been watching a live broadcast of a post-parade ceremony at Union Cemetery in Slinger, the awarding of the Purple Heart to the Sergeant Joseph Miller family. This live broadcast is brought to you by American commercial real estate.